Welcome to the homestead. Glad you're watching. Well, I got a little bit of sleeve on and I got long pants on because it's kind of cold out here. It's about 69 degrees and it's about noon, so, or just after anyhow. And it rained last night, and each time it rains it seems to get colder and colder, and not as fun as the summer rains where you're 90 degrees and it's raining. Anyway, it did rain last night and things are really, really wet. So what I'm going to do today is I'm going to scrape off the top of the trenches that we had piled up, and I'll do that today. That way I'm not stepping into the trenches with this mud, getting it all stuck to my boot. Lee's doing that. I don't want to do that. So it's kind of sad. We should have done this about a month ago, because a month ago when things were a lot drier and stuff, it was hotter, and the plan was that we'd level it down and then the grass would grow through, and by winter time we would have grass where we now have dirt strips. And if we step in these dirt strips, that dirt's just going to come off with our shoe, and that leveling is going to be gone. No more leveling. So what we might need to do is we might need to put cardboard over passageways that we normally would pass through, so we're not stepping in that dirt, creating mud and creating dips and things, because that's a shame to do all this work and then create a bunch of dips. And so anyway, that's neither here nor there. I got work to do, so let's get busy. Okay, I had forgotten that there was a big, huge dip in this yard over here. Big hole. It fills up with water when it rains, and it's got water grass in it now, and it's real big slope. So it's about yay big. It's like a big dip. I don't know. I don't know what was there before. Maybe a tree, and it sunk where we dug out from the tree. I don't know. But I do know it needs dirt, but it's also filled with grass. So really truly what I need is the weed eater to clean that out before I put the dirt down. You can see, I don't know if you could on the camera, but all along this edge the grass was growing, but it was growing. There was a layer of grass, layer of dirt, and this new grass growing. So it is working, it is regrowing and all this lovely green stuff, but it's water grass. And so basically I needed to scrape down to the soil line. So I did that, and the shoveling part's not as hard today as it is when it starts to get gummy. It's a little gummy, but not much. And so it's coming up a little bit easier than it would, say, tomorrow. It's kind of sad because the temperature being so low has caused this dirt not to start to try to dry out. When it starts to try to dry out, I can come back down and crush it. I'm not going to be able to do that because it'll all stick to my boot, and so I'm just going to have to leave it there until it starts to dry out and then come and flatten it all down and level it out. Now this line that I just filled over here, it's not from the actual trencher, it's from the wheels of the trencher, or the what is that track, you know, that track of it. And so it kind of carved it down right there, and so that's what I filled in right there. And I'll need to flatten it down, but not today. So this wheelbarrow is pretty full and it's wet dirt, so I'm going to need to do something with it. And it's going to get heavy. I don't want to fill any more up, so I need to put it in that hole right there. And but darn, I have to go get that weed eater. I accidentally left it out in the rain and with the battery in it, so Lee took the battery away to kind of dry it. And there is another battery, and I wonder if I can use it with the weed eater, or if I need to let it dry some more before using it. That I do not know. So I'm going to check with Lee, and I'll either dump it over the top of the grass. Well, I guess I could try to hand mow it down in that dip. I might do that. Well, the one that we have, the push mower, it's too low. It's not tall enough. It would just go over the top. So I'd have to get out the one where I have to pull the string and use the gas. So many choices and things I just don't want to do. So first of all, I'm just going to wait, and I'll be right back to do something with that hole. And worst case scenario, I just dump the dirt right on top of the grass and let the grass fight to come back up to the surface, which that's probably where I'm going to go with that. So anyway, don't go anywhere. I'll be right back. Well, I took a little break, and back to work I go. put a lot of dirt in that section there, and a lot more has to come, because from this side to that side there's a pretty good sized slope down, and our building's going to come here, and it ends I think back here. So we need to try to level it the best we can, and we'll have to see how that goes. And I think we're going to need to put up some type of a retaining wall, because the rest of the ground, after it gets down sloping, it's fairly even. The rest of the way that way, well, the garden's a flat spot. We picked the garden because it was flat. We didn't think about all the water rushing over that direction. You know, it is what it is. They're in garden beds, so it doesn't hurt the garden itself. Anyhow, that's sidetracked. We are going to have more dirt over here, and I have quite a bit of the trench left. I've only done about 1/4 of it. I got about 3/4 left to do, but golly, I'm going to have to take a break. The sun's out. It's still very cool. It's just that my body hurts. So I need to rest for just a minute, and then I'll be right back, so don't go anywhere. Okay, it's dinner hour. I've been inside doing dishes, getting ready to do dinner, because I need to do dishes before we do dinner. I know, it's backwards. Usually people do them after, and I do them after. I just shove them all in the sink, cover them up, and do them the next day. Anyway, somebody's crying. Somebody's always crying around here. Anyway, black clouds are coming up above our head. I don't know if it's going to start raining, but I'm not going to give too much more effort to this, but I am going to continue working. So stick with me and let's do this. Okay, I'm looking at the corner right here of this building, and there seems to be a really low spot kind of circling like this. And I think what happened was when the trencher made that turn, it might have displaced some of that dirt that was right back here. So that wheelbarrow full of dirt that I've got, I'm gonna put it right there in the corner and kind of level that corner out, so it's much better. I think that's a good thing to do with the dirt. Why not? There's a high spot right here. I tried to get it with the shovel, but the grass had been growing through it, and so it wasn't easy to do. The pointy shovel probably would work better, and the reason why that high spot is there is because we're talking last winter or spring when it was raining really, really hard, and it was flooding right around the sewer pipe, our temporary one. And so we had to dig a trench to get that water away from that pipe because it was going into the sewer. And so we dug a trench, and that was the dirt that we left. And we haven't finished cleaning it, and it's a mound, and so we need to smooth that down, get that hump out of there. And so I'll work on that when I finish the end, because I didn't finish the end. I just stopped short of it because it looked like it was going to need a lot of work. It's past dinner hour. It's got to be, the clouds are all gray, and so I couldn't see the sun to tell you exactly what time it is, but I would say 7:30 maybe, if I was to guess. I don't know. I'm probably pretty close. Anyway, it doesn't really matter. What matters is I'm done. So thank you for watching. God bless you all. Thank you for watching and subscribing if you would. I don't know, a couple of years ago, 3 years ago, we decided we'd start this channel, and we said, you know what? We're gonna start a channel, and it's gonna supplement our retirement income. Well, that's not true. It has not, and I guess there's a whole bunch of requirements that you have to have, and we fall short in all the requirements. And so if you subscribe and you like, it helps us, and maybe it could in the future supplement our retirement income. But for right now, thank you for watching. God bless you all. Be sure to like, share, press the notification bell, comment if you would, and we'll see you next time on the homestead. Bye-bye now.